one of the matches that are not interesting for Giannis, but is interesting for people outside arm wrestling. Eddie Hall and Brian Shaw, two strongmen coming to arm wrestling and an arm wrestling King of Table.
What was that introduction? What's not interesting?
You know.
Yeah, if you would ask me to pick in an event top fights, is this a top favorite? No, not for sure.
But still, some interest is there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I stay corrected.
Yeah.
So how much have you been watching? How much have you been seeing? Maybe from Brian or from Eddie?
You ask, do I follow arm wrestling a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
I have seen some videos, yes, I have seen.
From Eddie or from Brian?
From both. From both. But, yeah.
Give me your thoughts.
I have no idea strength-wise what will happen, because arm wrestling is so strange, and you can't really understand even from lifts if you see when they're doing some lifts and then something happening and something working, something not. But I have to say that definitely Eddie is more experienced in arm wrestling. He has pulled before, he has competed before, he has done some super matches before. So and even know his coordination on table. When I see what he's doing on table, it looks more natural, better positions, better angles, some control. Not like I'm saying that he's still a good, well controlled arm wrestler and coordinated, but he looks better. Strength wise, I have no idea. Brian Shaw is 4 times world's strongest man?
Yeah, Eddie just won, so he's 3 times stronger.
Okay. So if one is 1 time, other is 4 times, then you are 3 times stronger than other. Then it's like, that's it, like stay strong and love arm wrestling and watch event.
Yeah, guys, we'll see.
it's all clear for me and for others. But I understand that also Brian is preparing seriously, and there is some ego in arm wrestling. Always some ego on table when you take opponent's hand and you face even guy you probably know very well. You still want to, and that's a big event. Like thousands of people will watch. Even if they would pull in the gym, still it's ego, and you don't want to lose.
Plus, it's like for Eddie kind of took this okay, I'll arm wrestle, right? But Brian wants to be an arm wrestler. Yeah. Like he's training really hard. He's doing all those things. But for Eddie, it's different. Yet this is very unpopular opinion. But I'm gonna say how I feel. I do feel like it. I've been watching Eddie's progress on Arm Wars channel. He moves so much better. His understanding of arm wrestling is so ahead, in my opinion, as Brian Shaw. Brian Shaw right now, he still looks clunky like a beginner. I saw him pulling Devon. If that video was real and they didn't pull, like this wasn't staged like they pulled, he pulled exactly like he pulled him first time. And the thing is, people will look at this like, oh, how dare you? Like Devon was there 2 times to work with Brian. Neil Pickup, which is probably one of the greatest minds in arm wrestling, understands arm wrestling. Guy who wasn't gifted at all, became world champion, competed all over the world, now does commentary and analysis, is teaching him for 2 hours, maybe twice a week sometimes. And it really sticks. Like
absolutely.
Like if you see Brian, you will see some weightlifting, you will see some other stuff, and Brian has a good team of guys, but you know, no apologies, but they're nowhere near the level of arm wrestling knowledge Neil Pickup is. And Neil is really working. They're really working hard. They're drilling things. Because in the end, it's like if I'm teaching someone, I'm going to show you like, you know, you have to take like this and then you do like this. So like, cool. That's it. No, you're going to do it like 1,000 times until you get it.
Do 10,000 repetitions while it gets in your motor control in your head, and you can wake up in the middle of night and do it with anyone.
But all those things said, Brian could be so much stronger where it all doesn't matter. And for Brian, it will be just a little bit I do feel like the experience that Eddie is getting, technique-wise, is much better than Brian is getting. Like I can't run away from it. I can't lie that it's not. It just is.
Yeah, it's quite similar what I have seen, and I haven't seen much, but those videos I have seen, Eddie just moves better. That moves better, and but like I said, it's also a question of strength. And if one is 2 times stronger, who cares that you move good? Just some brutal, primitive strength, and then you are down. If you would ask me and we take two super elite athletes, strong guys who haven't done much arm wrestling, and you have to prepare them for fight. I would say probably only thing you need to do with them is arm wrestle, and arm wrestle.
Yeah.
They have the strength,
yeah.
and of course they can build some specific strength in some positions.
It's not that important.
But generally they have to work on that understanding on table how to use the strength they already have, and it's not a long time for preparation. So so generally best specific exercise is arm wrestling. If you want to run, go for run. If you want to learn how to arm wrestle. And short time right now, all specific training could be done on table with partner on working on some angles, some positions, do some really like setups, fight for a grip, do some ready goes, even like a competition start. And between that, only do some rehabilitation, general health, general strength, maybe some full ranges for your joints, for your arms to feel better. And it seems like that's what right now Eddie is doing with Neil.
Yeah.
They are working.
We're not saying that Brian isn't doing it. Brian is doing like training. Like I haven't seen much training footage. I know the guys will come and weekly they will train. But I guarantee you it's not the same experience as with Neil Pickup. Like Neil has everything figured out to the point. Like we talked about this and he said like he will try his
So
best.
you said no that Neil is better teacher than Devon?
By far.
Agree. Agree.
I think with like a lot of things like Devon is there for hours or maybe a weekend, right? And it really sometimes is overwhelming, especially like I feel like for the bigger guys. And for Devon, like how much Devon gonna allow you to drill technique? You need those 10,000 reps. Like he will, like you, and even with him, it doesn't matter if you can drill it with everyone, but someone needs to keep an eye on you that you are doing it right. So it all comes to limited time. So Eddie had very limited time, and this is his preparation. I do believe it's the best path to take. Brian looks in long term, so his preparation is mixed with training and weights and everything else, which is okay. And I do believe he might be the stronger guy still.
Yeah,
but
also
I do believe we have a match.
But also what we are talking about information we do have.
Yeah.
Like from Brian's show, we see or you see as much as he wants to show us.
Yes, same for Eddie.
Exactly. And if we take our analyze from information we do have, that's what it seems. But maybe it's absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's happening behind the camera.
But Eddie looks good enough that I do believe it's going to be an arm wrestling match where they will make it an arm wrestling.
What about injuries?
Injury. Like, listen, I'm always afraid of it. And the way I saw that Brian was pulling with Devon, as he kind of didn't go full back pressure, he was going more side pressure. You saw that, right?
Yeah. That's where he's strong, but that's where he's also danger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then always more strength you can put in that motion, more stress on your structure, on your bones or your ligaments. So it's like so questionable, and I'm kind of afraid to see two super strong guys who are not so well conditioned in those arms for arm wrestling. I know that Eddie has done some fights before. I know that Eddie has done some also arm wrestling fight. He had a super match or fight with Lalas, with Lithuanian strongman and former arm wrestler who is really, I would say, one of strongest guys I know who is not in arm wrestling but who is in a strongman or stand of strong, and he could be really good arm wrestler if he would focus, especially like years ago. And maybe Eddie did some also arm wars fight with some lightweights in England some years ago as well. So he's familiar with that. He's familiar. He knows how it feels when you are in real fight, when you are pushing with 100% and opponent is attacking. We'll see what will happen with Brian, but.
Yeah, like there's such a high praise, and we expect Brian to do great. I do believe, like we discussed in this video from Giannis, he needs more table and understanding. Like he has to pull for weeks until he understands it better. And I do believe Eddie is ahead of it from what I have seen. Maybe you haven't seen nothing, but I feel like there is a match. And listen. It would be great if there was an upset, and it would suck if there was an upset, right? Because everyone's looking at Brian as, oh, maybe we'll have another big guy, you know.
Yeah.
But people don't understand it. It takes a lot of time to
How
make an
long, how
arm
long is
wrestler.
right now Brian focusing on arm wrestling and
5-6 months? I see him
5-6
first time
months.
Devon. Yeah.
Ah,
And people thinking he's like number something in USA. And I'm like, win a match, real match, and then we'll talk. It takes time. It takes time, and he knows it. Like Brian knows it. Brian understands it. But I think with power, a lot of power comes curses. You know, we know a lot of guys that are very powerful. They're not really sound arm wrestlers. But to beat elite, we see this an evolution of super heavyweights where they pull inside, outside press, right, transition. And it used not to be like that. It was different. Guys had one move, if that lost, go home, right?
Yeah.
Now super matches kind of expose that part, and guys are becoming more and more better at arm wrestling. So
no, but we have seen already, we have good examples from strength sports like Leonidas Arconas, Larry Wheels, and when like super strong guys and successful in other strength sports are doing really good in arm wrestling.
Really
but
good.
It's still
the
more
gap between
and no one of them did that after like just few months. Even when Leonidas said, oh, he's not really like preparing so much, and he did just like few months, but it's already before he did some arm wrestling, he did some practice, so time, and you can maybe even some period not be active, but still what you have done before, your understanding is growing. Same with Larry Wheels. It took a long time for him to get some
I think
better
for a lot of
position.
people, like if you're not an arm wrestler, you think like, oh, you know, how hard could this be? Like some people are first of all gifted. They will understand movement very well. But a lot of people think this is weightlifting. This is just go, pick up and put it down, right? While this is more of, let's say you have to do a high jump. And if you never in your life have done a high jump, you have to learn the technique and everything.
It's combat sport, it's fight sport, exactly.
It's body movement sport, anything, parkour, anything. Literally, you have to learn a skill. Gymnastics, you have to learn a skill. Arm wrestling is still a skill. And then when you learn the skill, it becomes strength sport.
Only when you are much stronger in any position, any move.
Then it doesn't matter.
If all your points, all your positions, all your angles is stronger, doesn't matter, you just press. But if you have a good opponent who understands what he's doing, and he's stronger in at least one position, he will use it, he will find that, and he will win you. If he can find that one weakness. And most of those guys who are in sport news, they do have those weaknesses, and it's hard to probably block them or hide away from your opponent.
Pull someone and you'll be like, you check the hand, oh, hand's good. You check the side pressure, oh, side pressure is good. You check the back pressure is good. You check the pronator, oh, goes, boom. Right? So literally that's how arm wrestling happens. You put your strengths against someone else's strengths. Anyway, I do believe we have a good match. I think the team UK put in a lot of work to make this into a match, to make this into upset. For me, Brian is still the favorite because of how strong he is. The leverage, everything will be for him. But it's still best of 5. No, it's 4 rounds, best of 7. It's
best
4
of 7?
Yeah, it's king of table.
Okay.
It's king of table.
Okay.
Yeah. We missed it in the last video. So Paul, Lynn, and Krasi will pull at least 4 rounds. Okay, cool guys. So yeah, don't miss it. Big match. For you too, Brian, slight favorite?
I have no idea. We'll see. It's like I said, too much unknown, and we can just predict something, but really I don't know.
The whole thing is no one gets injured. That would be number one.
Most important, stay safe.
Stay safe.
And then only stay strong. Yeah.
And then continue. Please continue, guys. Okay, guys. All the information as usual in description. Stay strong.
And love arm wrestling.